How good of a character is Wyatt Russell's John Walker on the Falcon and Winter Soldier show? That is what we're going to discuss today. Hey, it's me, AP, and welcome to the Saturday movie show, everyone. I hope you're all having a lovely Saturday, a lovely weekend. It's a nice summery day. We've had a summery week here in the UK. It's a beautiful day. With the beautiful weather comes allergy season, hay fever. So my eyes this morning, I'm just like focusing the camera before starting the video today, and I'm zooming in the camera here, and it's my eyes are just absolutely bloodshot. I don't know if you can see it now on camera, but my eyes are bloodshot. My nose is all stuffed up with hay fever. But you know what? I'm gonna soldier on. I'm gonna soldier on and present to you hosts today the Saturday movie show, and it's today is going to be an episode all dedicated to the topic of Wyatt Russell's John Walker character on that show, the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. Let me just say ahead of time, if you know, same as usual, this is going to be a spoiler heavy show and of Falcon and Winter Soldier. If you're not up to date with the latest episode 5. Start watching now. Let's just make sure that tripod's secure, ladies and gents. Yeah, if you've not watched it yet, if you're not up to date with the whole show so far, I would recommend that you don't watch any point forward at the moment. So I'll give you a spoiler warning for any Falcon and the Winter Soldier topics, because we're gonna touch upon everything about John Walker and Wyatt Russell, and everything about his character and what his character's future is, and generally how his character is developed through this show. So spoilers for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episodes, yesterday's episode and all the other episodes, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers ahead, ladies and gentlemen, potentially. So let's kick off today's Saturday movie show with saying, why am I doing this John Walker, Wyatt Russell episode today? Why are we making it the topic of today's discussion? I'm doing it because there is tons of backlash this character, it seems. And I wasn't aware until I went on Reddit the other day, and I'm seeing loads of articles online saying that people are sending threats to Wyatt Russell, the actor, over John Walker because they don't like his portrayal of Captain America. And there's tons of backlash. People, what I can say, these people who are sending threats and who are writing blogs online to say they are so unhappy with this character and with the performance, and I think they're just absolute idiots. They really are idiots, just to put it bluntly. For one, first of all, look, it's a TV show. It's a comic book character. It's a fictional character. I can't even understand it. If you get worked up that much that you send threats out, or you send like really bad negative words and backlash to people, to actors performing roles, it's pretty crap. It's pretty silly as well. I mean, if you get up over a character that much, I would recommend you do not watch TV shows or films, because you're just not ready for it. You're not prepared, and you shouldn't be watching that. You should be watching something that is toned down. Maybe like on them old TVs. You know, when the DVD players, when they go into like sort of standby mode, and the DVD thing would just go, the logo would go up and down like that into that. Maybe just watch something like that just to calm you down, because obviously you're not cut out for shows like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is an awesome show. But yeah, there's been tons of backlash to Wyatt Russell's character of John Walker and his performance, and I want to really just dive into it and what my thoughts are on it, on the character, on his performance, and the future. So let's first of all, let's start off with, do I like Wyatt Russell's character John Walker in this show and his performance as Captain America, first of all, in the earlier episodes? Look, it's different from Steve Rogers. It had to be different, because it would be, if it was the same thing, if it was just the same character, a similar type of character to Steve Rogers, people probably would have backlashed more, because they would have just been like, they're just trying to replicate what had come beforehand. So they had to do something different, and John Walker is a character in the comics that is a different character, certainly a different character, and they had to go in a different direction. So they have this character, John Walker. We see that Sam doesn't want to take the shield on early on in the series, and then out of nowhere, without his go-ahead, they give the shield, Captain America's shield, to this character, John Walker, who's like this war veteran who's won hero medals of honor and all this. He's a war hero, basically. And they give him the mantle and the shield of Captain America. So we get this new Captain America now, and we see him develop over this show, and then we see him initially. I suppose he's this good character. He's not had the super serum, so he's just an average Joe, average guy, but he's obviously just a war hero. He's a good soldier, and he's just trying to do the right thing until there is a point in the show and where we see his friend die, get killed by these flag smashers. And then he, in between all this, he takes the super serum, and then he ends up then killing the wrong person, one of the flag smashers, but not the one who killed his friend. And you see him like getting the Captain America shield and smashing it down into this guy, and everyone is around him. All the public are seeing this, they're videoing it. It becomes obviously a massive thing with social media, obviously. And then he gets stripped of the title of Captain America. And in this recent episode, this is the one where he does get stripped of the role. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, just wipe my nose off camera. I thought I had a tissue, but it seems like I've lost my tissue. I'm unprofessional. If you see me dip down, it's because I'm going to go and I'm going to dip down and just wipe my nose with my, I've got a mask. I've got no tissues. I've got a makeshift mask. I've got a mask and makeshift tissue. This is one of my masks I wear outside with the COVID. So yeah, it is. He has this turn in this episode. Then he gets stripped of the title, and then he's like saying, "Yeah, I'm still Captain America." And then at the end of it, we see a post-credit scene where he is now making up his own Captain America shield out of metal. And this is obviously we're going to see. Well, I imagine we're going to see the US Agent character. He has played other characters in the Marvel universe, in the Marvel comic universe. Let me just mention the other character he has played, John Walker. So he has played another character as well. So the character he's played Super Patriot character, Captain America, and US Agent. I think odds-on favourite, he's probably going to play US Agent, I imagine. But you never know, he could play that other character as well. I will mention more about the show, this episode, later on in today's show. But do I like the character? I really enjoy the character. He's different, as I said. He is. I think Wyatt Russell's performance has been amazing. I've really enjoyed his performance. He's a character. He's an actor I've not seen a ton of. My only other thing I've seen him in is the Jump Street sequel. And I really enjoyed the Jump Street sequel. And when I was watching that initially, I never knew that was Kurt Russell's son. I didn't know, and I'd never seen him in anything since. He was just like a very small role in that movie, not like a massively pivotal role, but we see him then, we hear rumours he gets cast in this role, and I think he's a fantastic performer, fantastic actor, first of all, Wyatt Russell. And this character, John Walker, has become a really interesting character because of the way he's developed, and you look at him at first and he seems like a really a good guy, trying to do the good thing and trying to be like a Steve Rogers. But then we see this turn into what Steve Rogers was not, and we see this evil turn. We see his friend dying, and it's a similar path. We see Bucky, we think he gets killed in the first Captain America, but Steve Rogers doesn't go on that path of evil. Whereas John Walker, he sees his friend die, and he goes on that path of evil, and he goes on this path where he needs to get revenge. And that's where he differs from Captain America. And that is what I like. It's a twist on the mantle of the Captain America. It's a different direction they're going in. They needed villains for this show, for Bucky and for Sam. So his character is turning out to be a good villain. He's good fodder. He's I like the fact that when they're mentioning Captain America, and they refer to him as Captain America at times, and then you're like, yeah, he's just evil though. Why he's not Captain America, but then he obviously gets stripped of the role. But I'm really enjoying his performance. I think he has been. I think. Look, I think the characters Sam Wilson and Bucky, them two characters have been phenomenal. But I feel like Wyatt Russell's performance as Captain America, as John Walker in the show, has been a standout performance, really. It's been very enjoyable. I wouldn't say it's been a massive... He's not like being featured prominently. He's getting more and more time on screen. But the times he has been on screen, it's been really interesting to watch. It's been a unique telling of the story. And it's kind of like you feel bad for him in a way. Because you've seen him... You sort of thinking, his friends died. He's just trying to get revenge and try and get the person who killed his friend. And let's face the fact, these flag smashers are terrorists. So he's just going out there. He's just seen his friend get killed by these super soldiers, and he just wants to try and find these guys and put them down. But he reacted in the wrong way. He should have reprimanded the guy, one of the flag smashers, but he just brutally murdered him on the street. So. That's where his Captain America differs from Steve Rogers, but I do really enjoy his performance. I like the character. I really do like it. So let's move forward to a different topic on this. So let's talk about the backlash of John Walker, Wyatt Russell's character John Walker, on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show. So he has received a load of backlash online. We've seen it all, this talk of people just not liking the character, sending bad messages to Wyatt Russell, and it's fandom gone crazy, isn't it, I suppose? And I don't think I think it's a small minority of fans of Marvel and fans of movies. These people who are sending this negativity and these really harsh comments and backlash to a character, it is just silly to think of. I don't know why people... It's just keyboard warriors, isn't it? They go online and they're just like, oh, Wyatt Russell, I despise your character. Your performance is bad. You are not Captain America. And it's just like, where do you draw the line? It's like, you need to realise it's just a show. And I do think it is bad, the backlash. If he's receiving like death, I don't know whether it is death threats. I've not looked into these articles fully, so I don't know to what line and what were these threats and these negative comments have went to. But I think any form of negativity is bad. I mean, we've got a lot of negativity in this world at the moment anyway, with COVID and all this. So let's, why do we need it? Why do we need all this negative talk? I just think, just enjoy the show and enjoy the characters. If you don't enjoy a particular character because they're a villain, you don't have to go out your way to say to the actor or to Marvel execs that this is bad, this is awful. I don't get me wrong, you're entitled to your opinions, but I think there's opinions and there's negative speech, and it sounds like a lot of the backlash has been negative speech in these terms. I look at it, for example, look, I mentioned on the show a lot, I'm a big wrestling fan, big WWE fan, right? There are certain characters that I do not like in WWE. And I said it like last week on the WrestleMania episode that Edge is not a character that I particularly like. And it's nothing against the performer, Adam Copeland, who plays the character of Edge. Nothing against him. And it's nothing to do with that. I just don't connect with that character. And if you are similar with the Marvel shows, you don't connect with John Walker, that's fine. If you see him as a villain, and you don't like it because he's a villain and he's wearing the Captain America mantle, don't you get it? That's the whole point. He's meant to be a villain. He's meant to be a character you don't like on screen. And it's okay, you can be like, John Walker, I don't like that guy. He's a bad guy. Fair enough, but that's where you should put the line, and that line should stay there. It shouldn't go beyond that to criticising the actor or anything like that forward from that point. So, again, like I said, wrestling, there's certain characters I don't like. I don't go out my way to say to that performer negatively, I don't like you. I don't like your performance. I don't like that. it just what does it prove? What do you get from that? I honestly don't understand people, and I get it. I get it on my videos as well. I get like occasionally I'll get like a negative comment about something so silly, and I don't understand it. I don't understand why people would want to go out the way and throw out negativity. I think they must have such a bad life that they just that's what they've got. It's just sad. It really is sad. I pity them people in a way, really. But I think, you know what? If you're going to do it, just think about before you go doing the keyboard warrior thing. Just think. And I know there's probably not a lot of people in my community like that here in this community. But there is definitely people out there. If you know them, tell them, no, don't do it. Just stay positive and stay as a positive keyboard guy, a positive keyboard warrior. The only things you got to type online are positive words. If it's not positive, you're not thinking positive, just throw them thoughts out, but don't write them online. Just think of them, take them out your brain, and throw them to the floor. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do anything else. So, yeah, the backlash is silly, but let's move forward anyway. Let's move forward. So, Wyatt Russell, where does he compare to Daddy Russell, Kurt Russell? It's bizarre watching it because he looks so much like Kurt Russell. And when I was watching like the recent episode, I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool if he played Snake in Escapes to New York in like a remake? I really think he could pull it off. Or we had like a sequel or a reboot or some sort of, I don't know, something with Snake Plissken and with Wyatt Russell playing that character. I'm sure that's been talked about at some point and especially now because he's in this super big show, there's got to be talks about potentially doing something there with him because he's so much like his dad. He's a good actor. Comparisons are comparisons. Sometimes comparing things is not a good idea. But I'm looking at these two, Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell, and they're both two fantastic actors. It would be a shame. I would really like to see him maybe adapt some of the roles or take on some of the roles that his father took on because he is a good actor, and I'm a big Kurt Russell fan, and to see Wyatt Russell in some of the Kurt Russell roles or in a remakes of any of those Kurt Russell classic movies, I would really like to see it. Don't get me wrong, I want him to carve out his own legacy at the same time, but it would be nice to see him like visit some of them roles that his father played. I do think he is going to be. This show is going to be the platform for Wyatt Russell moving forward. I think he's going to get bigger and bigger roles. I think he's going to be just as big as his dad. I think he's going to get big roles, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see him like in a Fast and Furious or some sort of big superhero, another like a DC movie or something moving forward because he's going to get big roles because this show is making him a star. It really is, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the ride of the Wyatt Russell ride. And if you want to pour some Kurt Russell in there as well, I'm happy for that as well. It's awesome. So let's talk about the future of. Sorry, ladies and gents. So the nose is wiped now. I'm all good to go. So next up, let's talk about the future of John Walker, Wyatt Russell in the role in Marvel, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So where does his future lie? I think. It'll be interesting because it's all reliant upon what this finale is, and he is obviously definitely up there as one of the main villains in this show. I would like to see him continue, and I don't think this is going to be the end point. I don't think his character's going to die. I feel like there's going to be Wyatt Russell's character of John Walker is going to be very much a character who's this anti-hero, this sort of like Punisher-like figure. Maybe he could like take on that sort of like a pseudo Punisher sort of role in this, as the US agent. And I feel like he could be a character that maybe crosses up the paths of like other shows. He could feature in like the Armor Wars or any other of the upcoming Marvel shows or Marvel movies as well. I don't think it's going to be the end of his character because I feel like they just start. It's a starting point here. You can't just end it with one more episode. Even if they do a season 2 of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, surely there's more to tell here. There's more to tell of his turning into this bad guy character because we've only really just seen it. We've just seen the turn over the last 2 episodes of this show. So to see him develop more. Maybe we see a finale, a big battle, and then he gets reprimanded, but then we see like a release, and then he becomes even more of an animalistic, evil, villainous character in a season 2. So I don't think it's going to be the end. I feel like there's going to be much more to this character. I feel they're going to develop him a lot more, and he's going to feature in different shows and different movies. I do think there's going to be a future for John Walker, the character John Walker. He won't be the Captain America anymore. His run as Captain America is most certainly over, but his run in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, for me, is only just beginning, and I feel like there's more stories to tell here, and I feel like we're going to get him, and I think it's going to be interesting and exciting to watch as moviegoers. So, as I said, I'm enjoying the character. I'm enjoying Wyatt Russell's performance, and long may it continue. So, anyway, let's move forward with something else. Let's move forward with some other movie news today. And I want to talk about UK cinemas. So we've been in the dark about UK cinemas. We've had like a rough date, but we don't know when certain cinemas are going to open here in the UK. I know in like the US currently, cinemas are opening in certain states. So here in the UK, we're still waiting. So it's been reported on an article on Empire this week. So this is the Empire article that's come out this week in regards to UK cinemas. While guidelines are subject to change, the current plan outlined by the government sees outdoor cinemas in England, including drive-ins, open from today, Monday the 12th of April. So this was on the Monday. While indoor cinemas will open from Monday the 17th of May. And Scotland cinemas are also scheduled to open from the 17th, but there's no word on Wales or Northern Ireland yet. So there's a whole host of cinemas opening in the UK on the 17th. Not every cinema, though, is going to be opening. There's certain cinemas that are opening, certain independent cinemas that we're unaware of whether they're going to open. You can find out all the details in that article. I will link it below. It'd be interesting to see cinemas open. They have said now they are going to do certain types of methods to try and make sure everything stays safe as well. So certain protocols, like they're going to do staggered openings of films. So they'll, rather than having like 3-4 films all starting at the same time, they're going to stagger them. So they're going to have like one this time, and then maybe like 30-40 minutes later another one starts. So they're not going to have big crowds of people all just sitting in the one venue waiting for the tickets. I think that's a good idea. They have said that UK cinemas will have to do reduced tickets, so we're not gonna see full capacity cinemas at this moment in time. It's going to be reduced capacity. I think that was everyone felt like that was going to be the case anyway. So that makes sense. So that's another good thing. They have said that masks are going to be mandatory as well in the cinemas, so you will have to wear masks. I know in certain countries, I believe in Australia, I was watching Dave Lee Down Under the other day, and he said that in Australia they don't have to wear masks now, and I know in New Zealand, I think that's the same. Here in the UK, we're still having to wear masks. It's mandatory in indoor places, unless you've got like the little card that says you've got a health condition. But you do have to wear the mask in the cinema, so that's another safety precaution. It's going to be, look, again, for me personally, I'm not going to be going to cinemas. I don't want to be sitting in a cinema where the air is just all sitting in there. I don't want to be wearing a mask for 2 hours watching a movie. It's just not for me. But for people who do enjoy it, I know a lot of people are looking forward to going back to the cinemas again. It's good because it's opening up jobs, you know what I mean, here as well. I think the safety precautions are there as well. So if you do want to go to cinema, the opportunities are come the 17th of May in selective cinemas. So it's a bit of good news for the UK film industry, and definitely a step forward through this pandemic for sure, definitely. So now let's move to a new segment. Today I'm going to be introducing a new segment on the show, and it is called Movies for the Weekend. I'm going to have to get a jingle ready soon, but we've got no jingle yet, but let's talk about movies for the weekend. And because today's episode has been talking about Wyatt Russell and the character John Walker, I wanted to pay homage to his father, Kurt Russell, and to my favourite Kurt Russell movies, which are Escape from New York and Escape from LA. Both awesome movies. I really do like these movies. Fantastic. Just drop my notes. But yeah, movies of the weekend. If you've never watched these movies, or maybe you have, you've not watched them in a while, definitely check out both of these movies. The characters Snake in this is fantastic. It's a John Carpenter movie. The music's great. I love the music on Escape from New York. It's amazing. I really enjoy these. Are just like really gritty movies, very 80s movies, very of the time, definitely of the time, but they just, I don't know, something about these movies I watch every time, really enjoy them, fantastic, really cool stories, and just great action movies. So definitely movies for the weekend, recommendations for the first episode of Movies for the Weekend, Escape from New York, the two movies here, and they are my recommendations for this week's Movies for the Weekend. I hope you enjoyed the section. We'll have to get a theme song going for it. But now, let's talk about what have I been watching this week on TV, on movies. So, I've been watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier, as you know. So, the spoilers. Spoilers for this week's episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I know I give the opening spoiler count, but maybe you'll just skip ahead to this point. But the latest episode was a very good episode again. We talked about it a lot on this episode, but we see the turn of John Walker. He gets stripped of the mantle. Post credits, he is making his own shield. So we're gonna get potentially the US agent, or maybe just John Walker, just as an anti Captain America. We also see the arrival of a new character, Valentina de Fontaine. And this character is played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and the Seinfeld actress who played Elaine on Seinfeld is playing that role, which is a surprise cameo. And I think they promised a surprise cameo, and this is obviously the surprise, and it is a fun surprise. It's weird because if you've been watching the Saturday Movie Show over the past couple of weeks, I've only recently got into Seinfeld, first time watching it. And it's cool. I'm still watching Seinfeld. I'm on like the second to last season now. And to see the character of Elaine, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, in a role in the MCU now is kind of weird. I'm watching it. It's like, whoa, I'm watching Seinfeld and then watching Captain America, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So we don't know much about this character. We know in the comics she has been linked to S.H.I.E.L.D. She's been linked to a few different groups. We don't know whether she is going to potentially be the power broker. There's very much a lot of question marks, but I'm sure we're going to find out a lot more about this character in the next episode, in the final episode of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But I think it's a good casting. I think she's a fantastic actress, and I'm just looking forward to seeing more and seeing how it develops and how her relationship develops with John Walker. Because when he gets stripped of that mantle, we see him in the corridor with his wife, and then she arrives. And she just interrupts and she sort of gives him this card and says, when I call, make sure you answer and make sure you listen. So is she... it feels like she's definitely going to be a villainous character, but who knows? It feels like she is like the anti Sam Jackson, Nick Fury character. She's like recruiting a evil version of the Avengers, maybe. Maybe this is linked to the Thunderbolts. We don't know yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing the final episode next week and seeing what develops and how her character features within this. It was actually, I've done some research as well. It was rumoured, apparently, that her character, the actress Julia Louis-Dreyfus was going to feature in the Black Widow movie, but obviously we've seen all the Black Widow delays, so it's even possible she could feature in a post-credit scene in the Black Widow movie, or maybe she was originally, but obviously with the delay, that movie has now been pushed back, whereas it originally would have been released before this show was released. So it'd be interesting to see if she features in that in some capacity as well. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed her debut in the MCU. It's fun to see her character and fun to see that actress as well. The other movie I watched this week. So last week I finished off the Doctor Strangelove movie, and it was okay. Look, it wasn't amazing. I'll be honest. I'm going to be honest. I watched it last week and I was saying on the show it was okay, but looking back, reflecting after a week, I'm thinking, you know what, it wasn't really for me. I don't think I'd watch it again. It's described to some as like the greatest comedy of all time. I wasn't really for me, and I can understand. I think the performances are really good of what's his face, the guy who plays Doctor Strangelove, the one who's in Pink Panther. Can't think of his name now. Anyway, but yeah, it wasn't for me. Another movie I watched yesterday is Citizen Kane, and people, again, this is a movie that is like sort of touted as one of the movies you have to watch. It's like a greatest movie of all time. 2 hour movie. I watched it on the BBC iPlayer over here in the UK, and I couldn't get into it. It was just a long movie. I watched it all. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give it the time. I'm gonna watch the whole movie all out, see what I think of Citizen Kane, Orson Welles, and it just wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I think for me, I'm just not into like classic old time movies. I think it's just a preference. You know, I like modern movies. I like action movies. Action movies are my thing, and sci-fi. To watch a movie like this, it is very slow in pace for me, and I think it's just, again, it's all to do with what you like movie wise. Citizen Kane, I can see why people see it as like this turning point in movies, where it was like a foundation of like, this is where great movies were built upon, because of like the filming techniques throughout this and the story of like showing the whole life of this one person. It is definitely an interesting movie, but it's not a movie for me. So I wouldn't watch it again. I think, you know what, if you feel like you've got to watch it, but I wouldn't recommend it, I'll be honest with you. But I'm glad I've watched it now. I'm glad it's off my movie watch list. It was on there for a while. I've got it out of the way. I've watched it. But Citizen Kane was definitely not for me. And there you go. Not every movie's for everyone, is it? But you know what? There you go. I'm not going to say I didn't like it because I didn't like the performance. I didn't like the director. I'm just saying it wasn't for me. That's all you have to do. With negativity, you don't have to throw negativity on. You just have to say, you know what? It's not for me. I dislike the movie, but look, you can't like everything. And that's the way it goes, isn't it? Yeah. You don't have to be a keyboard warrior and channel the hate online. You can just say, it wasn't for me, but you know what? Someone else might like it. That's good. That's good. That's the way to react to negativity and to positivity. That's the way you throw out the positivity in a negative way, in a good, constructive way, I think. I think that's the best way. I'm rambling. Anyway, I feel like that is the end of today's Saturday movie show. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like and check out the rest of my movie-related videos. And let me know what you think of Wyatt Russell's performance in the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. Are you enjoying the performance? Are you enjoying the role of John Walker? What do you think John Walker's future is in the MCU? And what is your favourite Kurt Russell movie? Let me know all your thoughts, and I'll see you next time.